So thanks be to God. I grew up in a faithful family with my parents and two older sisters. I attended my parish's Catholic school from preschool until 8th grade. And growing up, I always knew that our faith was important and that it was good. Through elementary school, I guess I slowly started to grow in my knowledge of the faith because we had a religion class at the school. So I learned a lot about it. And I slowly began to start praying on my own every once in a while. But it was in middle school, though, that I started to seriously engage in the life of the faith. And so when my cousin and my best friend started to go to youth group, and he said it was really cool, I was like, I should probably go to that too, I guess. And so I started going to some of the events in like 6th or 7th grade, and I definitely had fun. It was really fun. But I also saw that it was like a joyful and intentional community of middle schoolers, but like all the high schoolers especially, as well as the adult leaders, were always super kind and genuine. And they really like inspired us and exhorted us to dive into this faith, into this relationship with the Lord. And so when I got to high school, I started going regularly to youth group, and I even joined the leadership team for the youth group. And so part of the thing we did for that was we were in charge of planning all of the other youth group events, but as well as it was kind of like an intentional time designed for us to also like spiritually grow. And it was a place where we learned about the faith. We were taught about prayer and how to have a relationship with the Lord. And we were shown how to do this and encouraged to live this adventure of Catholicism together as a community of brothers and sisters in the Lord. And it was awesome. And like in this time leading up to this, and as well as during this, as I was praying, the thought of priesthood started to come up. And I had thought about it in the past, but only long enough to tell myself that that's not what I would do. But now it kept coming up. And at first it was kind of scary, but I continued to pray with it, and the Lord continued to show me His love and I guess the riches of the faith. And I started to become okay with it. I even started to desire it, I found. And the part that really attracted me was being able to tell people of God's love and mercy for them, and especially in the sacrament of reconciliation. It was really attractive. And so also, like, during these years, the example of my pastor was a huge influence. He was very authentic, real, and he really strove to lead all of us, especially the youth. He was always, like, around us as well, strove to lead us to the Lord. And so it was at the end of my sophomore year of high school, I mentioned to him that I was kind of thinking of going to seminary maybe, and he said, oh yeah, just do it. He's like, that's what seminary is for. It's a place of discernment. If you feel that call, you should go for it. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll go to seminary. And so, like, up until this point, I wasn't really sure if, like, this call I felt in my heart was actually, like, a good enough reason to go, I guess, because it wasn't any, like, huge or showy sign. But Father just kind of gave me that courage, like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll go for that, like, totally. And so I decided to go to SJV then after high school. It also really helped that I had an older cousin already at SJV who I really looked up to, and he always seemed so genuinely joyful and positive. Whenever we'd ask him about how seminary was going, he was always like, yeah, it's really good, and he was genuine about that. So when senior year of high school rolled around, I still felt that call in my heart, and thanks be to the Lord, yeah, I entered seminary. The Lord has been so good and generous and has continued to show me that all throughout my time here. Praised be Jesus Christ.
Now